I'm sorry. I haven't talked to her for a while. And of course she calls when I finally take the time to do a live. Of course, right? That's how it always happens. So hello, I'm sorry about that. I was just doing a Facebook Live of a pumpkin, of a metallic fabric pumpkin. And I got a phone call in the middle of my video, so I had lost sound. So I'm coming back to hi. I'm so sorry I had to leave you guys. Hi Nedra. Or Neldra. I can't see. Oh my gosh. I have a friend named Nedra. Looks like Neldra. Nelda. Oh, hi Nelda. Hi Nelda. Oh my gosh. I messed you up completely. I swear I thought it was my friend Nedra. Hi Tammy and Rose. Hi you guys. Hi Arlene. I'm so sorry about that. Hi Abigail. Yes. So anyway, I found this old spindle top and I thought it would be really cute on my pumpkin, but it needs to be metallic and it also had a hole in the top. So I put a white pin with a little ball. I cut the pin off and just used the little ball. I had to come up with something to fill the hole. I can't have a hole. And I thought that little dot on top would work. So hopefully the white paint will, or the white dot, that plastic sewing pin will hold the metallic paint. in case you're curious, I'm using Modern Masters. What color? And I kind of have a bronzy color. It's called Warm Silver, actually. But gee, I'm surprised because it doesn't really, to me, I don't see silver at all. But anyway, let me give just a quick coat. This can be drying while we're dressing up our little pumpkin. I'm back. I'm sorry you lost sound. My daughter Summer called from Arizona and knocked it. I was afraid when I heard it ring that that's what was going to happen, and it did. So I'm sorry about that. I took a second to go in and put it on Do Not Disturb. I should have done that before. I didn't even think about it. So usually they just send me texts and it's not a big deal. Yay, we're back. But I'm sorry this has to be 2 parts. That kind of stinks for future when you're trying to find it on YouTube. Okay. So yes, all of my videos go over to YouTube. And so if you're ever searching for something rather than searching through all of the videos, it's kind of nice to just go over there, go to Tammy Loves Vintage. It's the same name. And type that in, and you will be able to search for fabric pumpkin. And I'll go fix the description of this one to say part 1. And so then that ought to help everybody out. Okay, so there we go. I painted just one quick coat there. I don't know how quick it was, but I tried to make it quick. Now how am I going to lay it down without, how am I going to, I'll see if I can take this little ball. Take hold of the little ball. There's a little crack in my table. So there, I just set it right down in there. Let me repaint the little ball. And then we're going to let that sit and dry. Okay. All right. Sorry. Sorry. You're loving the fabric. Oh, good. Oh, good, Rose. I'm so glad. I'm so glad. I'm not, Tambra. Randy's still on the fence about moving. So I'm here. I have all of my stuff here. It's wonderful. I come over every day and hang out, and Kim's still bringing things, but no, we're not officially in yet. We just are still finishing our siding work at the house from the hailstorm back in May. So we're just getting that all taken care of. So anyway, yeah, until we get that house finished, I don't think I'm going to get him on board to do anything. So, okay, the next thing I have to do is, you can see this big hole. And so sometimes I'll use cheesecloth, or I'll use this fur, or I'll use like moss. You can use moss or Spanish moss, or like, I'll show you another really good thing is I have a bit of the scarf left. This was, you know, when like my mother-in-law started making these and people were making these. It's a great use for your little scarf. See how cute? So whatever, you just need to find something kind of bulky to fill that in, or maybe like a door plate of some sort with a doorknob in the middle to be your stem. You'll just have to figure out a way to cover your hole, and you are going to have somewhat of a hole there. In this case, I have some fur. It's really good fur, and so I think I'm going to just glue my fur on here. It will match another pumpkin that I made, so I think I'm going to do that. So let's just hot glue the back of the fur. Okay, that's all you got to do. If you want to sew it down, you can certainly sew it down. And then I'm just going to press it down. I'm not using fabric glue or anything. I'm just using regular old hot glue. It will be fine. This isn't something that, you know, is going to get any abuse, really. You're just going to pick it up from time to time to pack it or to dust or whatever. So it'll be fine. Okay. So then I'm going to try and find the center. Well, I'm not going to do that now because I'm waiting on that to dry. So, excuse me. So, yeah, but I kind of need that in there so that I can start hanging my vintage treasures off of there. What I pulled for this one is an old brass lock, just like a little padlock. And then I have a brass key. They do not go together, but the colors match really nice. So I thought I might hang these two things together to pull the metallic out, okay? And then I also had this shoe clip, which I thought the cream might be nice. So I have that as a possibility. You can see it, whoops, you can see it right here. As a little add-on idea, and then hang those down. And then I also have, you know, I love making these optical lens postmark tags. So I have that, which I thought I would hang here as well, and I think the colors all match. So just to make it interesting, so I tell you what I'm going to do. I hate to do this to you, but I think I'm going to dry this topper down so that I can keep moving along here, because I really need to see where it's going to go. I should have just painted it, but I was trying to be, I don't know. I was trying to be, give you guys a minute to, oops, there, I just unplugged my light. Okay, there, I plugged that back in. Okay, I'm in a whole new situation here, so I'm still learning. I've done several videos in my group, but not here yet. So let me just dry this down enough that I can touch it. Hopefully it won't take too long. Let's see. Oh, yeah, it might. I have a big heat gun. What do you want to talk about? Is there anything we can talk about while I'm drying this thing? Oh, let me see. Let me get my glasses. See if anybody's got a question for me. Everybody with me so far? Oh, it's okay, Janet. Oh, it's okay. Thanks, Kim. Thanks for sprinkling, Nina. Yeah, I haven't moved yet. And everybody's back. Okay, all right. Well, let's see here. Oh, yeah, that side's dry. So let me just dry this real quick. It's dry enough that I can touch it, because I want to get it on. Yeah, it's looking good. It's looking really good. So it's dry enough that I can touch it. So, okay, now let's get back to business here. Okay, so what I need to do now is I left the screw on here so that I could break through this, but I'm not sure I will. So let me grab a blade here and see. Oh, I'm getting paint all over me. It's not dry. Oh, it's dry enough. Okay, there we go. So I just put a little slice in there and I can see it. Oh, I'm getting paint on my thing. Okay. And so let me put some hot glue here. So I'm just putting it all the way around, and I'm going to poke this down in the hole, and there's our top. Okay, need it to get kind of seated in here where he wants to sit. Find your happy place there, little knob. Get yourself all happy. Okay. So now what I need to do, are you going to stay wiggly? It might stay wiggly because it's just laying on the top. I need to keep the fur away so it can be drying. But see how that, can you see? Hi, Esther. Oh, Stacy, wow, what fun. Hi, Janie. She is not going to come, Marilyn. She decided not to come. She's worried with COVID and being pregnant and being on the airplane and being around everybody. So she's too nervous about all that to come. And I understand. I don't want it to be my fault if something happens. So the doctor told her it was okay to come, and she had 3 weeks to do it, and then she wouldn't be allowed to fly anymore. And that's just cutting it really, really close. So she decided not to come. So we're going to have to figure out how to do a virtual baby shower for her, which I'm sure we can do. That's what they have Zoom calls for, right? We'll figure it out. Okay. So I have my vintage seam binding that I have tea stained, and I know you guys have seen me do this a million times. But I want to add, do I want to add this at the top? I don't think I do. So I'm just going to do an in the air. Yeah, I think so too. I think, you know, in the end, if something were to happen, I would just feel terrible and she would feel terrible. And she works from home. She doesn't go anywhere but the grocery every now and again. And half the time Sean does that too. So she's just not been exposed much. And she works, she works for Teladoc, so she kind of knows what's happening in the areas with COVID. Oh, I'm doing too much talking. Okay, speaking of, right? Okay, so I've got, it's a little wimpy looking, but let me show you how to fix it. Just like that. It's perfect. Okay. Let me just take a quick peek at it here and decide what's the front. I think I'm going to go with this. So I'm going to hot glue this down. Every layer, everything that you do and add to it just pushes the last one back. So let me grab a drink here. I'm sorry, I don't know why I'm coughing. Probably on my talking, I've been alone all day. Okay, so like when you first made your pumpkin, your focus was on the pumpkin. And then when I added the fur, it was kind of all about the fur. Then the top, you know, each layer. Now this bow kind of pushes the fur to the background and it's all about the bow. So the more layers you add, kind of just enhances the whole thing. So then when I said I was going to add that pin, it would go like right there in the middle of the bow is what I was thinking. So let me find the middle of the bow. There it is. Okay, let's throw that pin in there. Actually, I think it's an old shoe clip. You can see the back would clip onto a shoe, like this. And I'm not even going to take that off because it won't hurt anything. So I'm just going to add some hot glue. Oh, yeah, I need to plug my glue gun back in. I plugged in the dryer and I unplugged my glue gun. I can feel it not being super hot. Hang on a minute. Okay, let me put that back. Okay, and then let me get my glue gun plugged back in. Okay. Oh man, I'm a mess. I was good till I started all the coughing. Okay, so now I want to tie on my little lock and key because I think that'll look really great. So let me see here. Let me find the end oh, here we go. The end of my seam binding. I love using the seam binding, especially after it's been stained and crinkled and all that good stuff. Okay, so I'm going to poke it through the key and then also through the lock. I think they can hang together just fine. Okay. Right like that. I think I'm going to put it underneath here and let it hang. Yeah, not so obvious. Okay, so I'm going to do that, and that's a great length for it. So let me just tie it in a knot so that it doesn't come untied. And then I think I'll give it a bow just to give it a little bit for the glue to stick to. Give a little bit more surface there. Okay. All right, and then I'll cut this tail. Make it long. What the heck? What's one more little tail? And then I'm going to tuck the bow back in here. You're not even going to really see it, the bow part, so I don't really care what it, you know, what it looks like so much. I'm just kind of hiding it out back here. Okay. All right. Oh, I don't like how wiggly that is, but I don't really know. I'm just gluing it to fur. Let's see. Okay, that's better. Okay, so there is, so far, we have our pumpkin, we have our lock and key. I might have that a little bit too long, you think? Let's see, yeah, I might have that just a little bit too long. So let's, let me take that off and redo it and make it a little bit shorter. It wasn't dry yet, so let me just do that again, you guys. It's too long. Too long, don't like it. Now's the time to fix it. Okay, so let me do that again. I'm sorry, I'm not looking at your comments. I will here in just a jiffy. Oh, poo. Sometimes when you try to hurry, I don't know why I'm hurrying. I don't know why Tambra said I had 3 minutes. I'm not sure what was happening there. Oh, thanks for the hearts. Thank you, whoever did that. All right, so let me make this just a little bit shorter and keep that from going crooked. Yeah, okay, let me keep that shorter here. Maybe when I tied it, it slipped up, I don't know. And then I'm gonna do the bow again, just to tuck it up in there and give me something to glue it to. Okay, and then I'm gonna add, see, I want the key in the back. So I'm gonna add the glue to the back of the bow. I'm gonna lift this up in here, find me a little spot to tuck it in. And I'm gonna tuck it right in there underneath that bow. There, that might be better. I think that might be a little better and a little more obvious. Oops, there's a loop that needs snipped that I missed. How in the world did I miss that? I don't know. Okay, all right. So now I just need to tie on this little postmark in an old optometrist lens. The strength is a number, let's see, 2.5. At the top right here, you can see there's a 2.5 stamped in it, and that tells the optometrist the strength of the lens that you're using. Okay, so I want this to hang down a little bit, so I'm going to tie it here to this loop, and I am just going to, I tried to get the, sometimes some of these have a bigger hole at the top, but there's just a tiny little slit in this one, and I was really struggling trying to get that tied, so, or pushed through there, so I'm just going to try here. Figure out how to do it. Try and figure out how to knot it. Okay, so I wrapped it. It helps that it kind of has a skinny little waistline there that I can get a hold of. Okay, there we go. Nope. Nope, I didn't. Okay, what am I doing? Oh, I came untwisted. Okay, so that's not going to work. Hang on. Let me try again. Okay. Hoping you guys can see this okay. I don't want it this. Oh, yeah, no, it won't be. Okay, let me try this again. All right. Okay, fine. Let me get my knot almost tight. Okay, see that? Got my knot almost tight. And then I'll shove that up in there and pull it. That ought to work. There we go. Okay. There you go. And I tied a double knot. And then I'm just going to leave a couple of little short tails there. Okay. Okay. So now we have an interesting little pumpkin. It is all the metallic material. As you can see, we've added some fur. We added the metallic top to it. Then we added the little shoe clip, the lock and key, and then the little postmark in the optometrist lens. So there you go. I have a sweet little pumpkin. You all can do this. Maybe use the thread for the pumpkin. Yeah, I could have used yarn, but I really like the seam binding. It just kind of gives it that vintage, you know, that vintage flair, I think. Yeah, I just needed to slow down and get it. So anyway, there you go. It's full of treasures, full of goodies, and I think it's adorable, and I hope you guys like it too. If you don't want to add all the junk, just come up with, you know, you could even do a doily. The doily that I had laid out for the pumpkin I was going to make before Julie gave me the sweater, let me show you, is this one. So these work great as well. I should just do another pumpkin with you guys sometime. Maybe we will. And you just cut your hole in this and you can push it down to be, you know, however short you want. But I have such a big doily, and I thought that the lace on it was so awesome. So I thought I would do a pumpkin out of this. That's why it's laying. I've got a whole shelf full of stuff I wanted to make. So anyway, but that's another way to cover that big hole, okay? I have this doily. It's a little bit, it's not round, you can see, but I think I could make it work on a pumpkin as well by gathering like the front side. And I love the look of those as well. I tell you, if you go to YouTube, and I bet if you type in pumpkin on my channel, Tammy Loves Vintage, you might find all sorts of the pumpkins that I made with you guys in the past. So, oh, you like the wreath behind me? Oh, thank you. Excuse me. I did a lot of weddings, and that was a backdrop for, we did like the big pipe and drape systems with all of the lights and the chiffon and all that. And that we did a hand-painted best wishes to the Mr. and Mrs. And we did a hand-painted banner that went across there. So anyway, yeah, that was, and again, you could go to YouTube and type in paper flowers, and it, or if you watch Just That Perfect Piece, I think it's called Just the Perfect Piece. She makes a lot of paper flowers. Any paper flowers that you come up with, this is just a foam insulation, a big giant foam insulation board, like for, I suppose like mobile homes or something. If you go to Lowe's, it's real thick, and I just cut out a circle and then covered it with paper, covered it with old paper, and then just started adhering all of the paper flowers. So there you go. But I thought, well, I didn't know what to do with it. And I thought, well, it might be a nice backdrop to cover up. You know, you see all my tucked work and stuff. I'm in my basement. So anyway, it's, you know, it's such a stupid, ugly place to be, but it sure is handy. I have crafting stuff over here and crafting stuff over here, and it's just awesome to have everything all in one place. I feel so organized. I feel so good. So anyway, it might not be the prettiest place to craft, but it sure works for me right now. So, and it's fun to be in a new place. So anyway, I think it's a great project. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope you give it a try. And I think I might have to come back and do another one with you before the season's over, because I really do want to use this, this particular doily. I really want to use this thing. And I have just enough of this to do maybe one or two more. Whoops, that, well, I'm not going to cut that off because I might want it. But I have enough of this scarf left to do one or two more pumpkins. And look at all that driftwood that I have. And I do have this stem. So, you know, another thing, I want to show you one more thing. I was in my craft group today. We made the coolest thing ever. I think it's super awesome. I made two of them. I don't usually, when I get a bright idea, I don't usually practice. I just kind of do it with the girls, whether it's a fail or not. But this one I did a practice. And I used vintage paper, and I cut out pumpkin shapes and used paper wire and decorated them for little shelf sitters. So I made two of them. And here's the other one. So I used, in this one, I used a German newspaper and a rice paper in the back, and then a sheet of music, and stamped the leaves and cut them out, and then used the paper wires. And I love how they turned out. You want me to do the doily pumpkin? Okay, Michelle. Hi, Michelle. Oh my gosh, Michelle. I was watching the tail end, well, I think it was the end of Debbie Rigg in her group having her sale, and you got the pumpkin with the witch on it, and I was so happy for you. I love that thing. I thought it was adorable. I'm so glad you got it. So anyway, sorry everybody else, that was way off the subject. But anyway, I thought these turned out super cute for little shelf sitters, and I was happy to share that project with the girls in my group. So I probably better get off of here before I continue to cough. That's so rude. So anyway, but when I'm in the middle of it, I don't know what to do. So thank you guys. Thanks, Kathy. Thank you. Thanks, Edith. I'm glad you like them. Thanks, Cindy. I love messing with paper, and it was fun to come up with something different. You did get it. Oh, Michelle, I knew you did. I was rooting for you, honey. I was rooting for you. I was tempted to go 125. So I really liked it. But it was you, and I couldn't do that to you. I just think you're just so awesome. So, so friend to friend, you got it, and I'm happy for you. So, okay, you guys, thank you for watching. Thank you, Tori. Thank you so much. Thanks, Cindy. So, okay, you guys, hi, Nancy. Oh my goodness, Nancy, we just finished. You might have to go back and catch the replay. We made this really pretty little pumpkin out of an old sweater from the Limited with a little bit of metallic in it, added some fur, added an old lock and key and some seam binding, a little optometrist lens with a postmark, and an old shoe clip and an old finial. And then I was showing them some things that we made today in my group out of paper, and then they noticed my wreath behind me, so we talked about that real quick. So you wanted it too, Sharon? Wasn't that awesome? Honestly, when I've been hitting any little store, I kind of look at the little elves, which is so silly because I could never make it as cute as she did, but but I keep thinking, oh, if I find a little elf, that would be awful cute to sit on one of my pumpkins and give it a whole different spin. It wouldn't be like her painted ones, but I think I could pull it off. So anyway, all right, you guys, I'm going to go before I start coughing again. I apologize for that. And if you want to catch the replay, you can, just for any little details that you may have missed. Or you can watch my YouTube channel and find it there. It's 2 parts because I got kicked off when my daughter called me. So if you want to rewatch, you might want to look for the first one where I actually made the pumpkin, and then the second one's where I decorated it. She called just at the right time. So anyway, I'm gonna go call her back. It's so nice to see you all, and I promise I won't wait so long the next time to come back and see you. Have a great night. Bye-bye. Oh, Michelle, I am better. Bye. But wait, I am so much better. I had been sick probably 3 weeks ago, and it's just lingering. It's lingering, and it seems like whenever I get to coughing, I get in this little, or get to talking, I get this little spurt of a cough, and I can't shake it. Oh, look, and it's gone now. So you just have to make it through that. Isn't it awful when you're out in public and you have a little cough? Everyone looks at you like, oh no, get back. So as we all should. So anyway, okay. All right. Goodbye. Have a great night. Bye. Oh, hi, Pam. Hi, Pam. I'm sorry. You're going to have to catch the replay, love. I just finished everything. I made a pumpkin and I shared some other things. And if you want to see how I made it, there are two parts. I got a phone call in the middle. So I constructed the pumpkin first and then I decorated it in the second one. They're both right on my page, Tammy Loves Vintage. You can just scroll right back. So have a great night to all of you. We'll see you later. Hello. Hello, Martin. Okay, bye-bye.